Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we're diving into another serious conversation surrounding the alleged assassination attempt involving Maurice Sam, but this time we're looking at a different angle of the same storm. Not just what happened, but how quickly public suspicion turned toward the people closest to him. Close colleagues, inner circle friends. And once again, one of the names being heavily discussed online is Pearl Watts. Now, before we go any further, let's be clear. This is about analyzing public reaction, not confirming accusations. Because as of now, what we are dealing with publicly is speculation, not verified conclusions. When shocking news breaks, especially involving someone widely admired, emotions override logic almost immediately. Maurice Sam has built a strong fan base over time. People feel personally invested in him. So when reports of an alleged attempt on his life surfaced, it didn't just feel like celebrity news. It felt personal to many supporters. And when something feels personal, people want immediate answers. But here's the reality. In moments of crisis, answers are rarely immediate. And that gap between event and explanation, that's where suspicion grows. What we saw online was a pattern. First came concern, then confusion, then theories, and then accusations. Social media users began suggesting that the danger must have come from someone close to him. The narrative, "the enemy is always within," spread quickly, almost like a script everyone had heard before. And that phrase alone is powerful. It carries drama, it carries emotion, it carries fear. But powerful phrases are not evidence. There's a psychological reason this kind of narrative spreads so easily. When something bad happens unexpectedly, people search for control. Blaming someone, especially someone visible, creates an illusion of understanding. It feels better than admitting we don't know. And because Pearl Watts has shared professional spaces, collaborations, and public interactions within the same industry circles, her name became easy to insert into conversations. Proximity turned into suspicion. Visibility turned into maybe. But maybe is not proof. Another thing that fueled these accusations is digital body language analysis. People went back to old interviews, event photos, behind-the-scenes clips. They began dissecting smiles, tone of voice, eye contact. Some claimed they saw hidden tension. Others said they noticed awkward energy. But here's something important. Hindsight can make anything look suspicious. Once you believe there's a story, your brain will find details to support it. That's called pattern recognition bias, and online communities amplify that bias collectively. One person says, "Look at this clip." Another says, "I noticed that too." A third adds, "Something was off." And suddenly, speculation starts feeling like investigation. But it's not investigation, it's interpretation. And interpretations can be wrong. There's also the issue of emotional overprotection. Fans who feel protective over Maurice Sam may believe that being suspicious is a form of loyalty. They think, if we don't question everyone around him, we're not defending him enough. But defense without facts can become damage. And damage spreads beyond the original incident. Let's talk about what public accusation does. Even without formal charges or evidence, once someone's name trends in association with something as serious as an assassination attempt, it leaves a digital footprint. Search engines remember, screenshots circulate, clips get edited, narratives get built. Even if investigations later clarify everything, reputational harm can linger. And that's the danger of public trial culture. We also have to acknowledge how silence is interpreted. Some people online argued that because Pearl Watts did not immediately release a strong public statement addressing rumors, that silence must mean something. But silence can mean many things: legal caution, personal shock, advice from management, or simply choosing not to engage in rumor cycles. We cannot treat silence as evidence. There's another layer to this: rivalry narratives. In entertainment industries, fans sometimes assume competition equals conflict. If two actors are rising in similar spaces, some fans create imaginary tension. And when a crisis happens, those old rivalry narratives resurface quickly. But industry overlap is not hostility. Professional collaboration is not conspiracy. Another important point is how quickly people attach moral labels. Online discussions shifted from, "Could someone close be involved?" to outright statements implying betrayal. And once someone is labeled a traitor in public conversation, it becomes very difficult to undo that image. The internet rarely offers apologies with the same energy it offers accusations. We should also consider how trauma affects perception. When someone survives something allegedly life-threatening, emotions run high. Supporters feel anger toward whoever could be responsible, and that anger looks for direction. If there's no confirmed suspect, it spreads outward, sometimes hitting innocent targets. And that's why responsible discussion matters. Supporting Maurice Sam doesn't require turning against others without verified evidence. We can send prayers, support, and solidarity without nomming suspects based on proximity. There's also the reality that investigations, if ongoing, require privacy. Authorities do not release every detail immediately, and public silence from those involved may be part of protecting the process. Jumping to conclusions can even interfere with serious matters. Another thing we must confront is how social media rewards bold claims. The more dramatic the accusation, the more engagement it receives. Calm voices saying, "Let's wait for facts," rarely trend. So emotionally charged speculation becomes louder than cautious reasoning. But loud doesn't equal accurate. And as viewers, as fans, as content consumers, we have influence. Every share, every comment, every repost contributes to shaping narratives. If we repeat an unverified accusation enough times, it begins to feel like truth, even when it is. And that's how misinformation becomes mainstream conversation. It's also important to remember that real people read these comments. Real families see these posts. Real careers depend on public perception. Even being loosely associated with such a serious allegation can cause emotional distress and professional consequences. And if later proven unfounded, the internet rarely restores reputations fully. So what's the responsible approach? First, separate facts from feelings. Second, avoid turning theories into statements. Third, allow official processes to unfold before forming conclusions. And most importantly, remember that proximity is not proof. Right now, what remains publicly confirmed is that Maurice Sam allegedly experienced a terrifying situation and survived. That alone is significant. Beyond that, speculation about people close to him remains exactly that, speculation. We can care deeply without accusing recklessly. We can demand transparency without assigning guilt prematurely. We can support justice without creating suspects. In moments like this, maturity matters, digital responsibility matters, emotional restraint matters. Because the cost of being wrong is high. So as this situation continues to unfold, let's commit to thoughtful discussion. Share verified updates, avoid inflammatory statements, and understand that until credible evidence is presented by proper authorities, assumptions remain assumptions. If you value balanced conversations like this, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates as more confirmed information becomes available. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging responsibly, and I'll see you in the next one.